I'm talking
It
about.
don't matter what credit. As soon as you say credit, you saying slave.
Yeah, I get that part.
Credit. A creditor is the slave owner, right? Because he gave the creditee the credit.
Yeah, you become the debtor. I understand that part. What I'm saying is, all right. So what we saying? We got an option. All right, we using the fiat, which ain't money, so we still a slave using it, and we using the credit. So either way it go, we're a slave on both ends. But what I'm saying is, when we use the credit, it go. They keep the credit bureau keeps a record of it. And so if I was to go, say if I had $10, right? I go in the store and spend that 10. All right, so that 10 just got spent. And I paid tax on it. But say if I go in there and use my credit card, right, and I put 10, and I spent 10 on my credit card, they're gonna create a credit report for me. Boom. And I just take the $10 because I got a secure credit card. So secure credit card, it's like I already gave them a certain amount of money, and I'm just paying myself back. And so they report that at the credit bureau, the credit union. They report that. I'm just saying, if you still want to work the system this way, so
it's not working the system. It's working you.
I don't think you get what I'm saying. I get what you're saying.
Soon as you said, listen, as soon as you said a secured credit card, it's not a debt instrument anymore.
Go ahead.
Because you have on reserve capital to cover the balance of whatever you use on the card. That's debit. That's not credit.
But they still working. I work it as a credit, and it goes to my credit report, and it makes my credit
score. Right. That's because of the nature of the fiat.
Okay.
It's not because of the access to the card. The card, you had to put fiat up as the collateral. The collateral is already there on the secured card.
Yeah, that's a secured card.
That's the same as having gold on reserve that supports this currency that's about to come out.
Right.
They can't print currency that devalues the gold. That means they can't print currency value that exceed the value of gold on reserve.
Right.
Okay, now, if you have a secured credit card, the credit card limit is how much you put up as collateral.
Mm-hmm.
If they was really giving you a credit card, whatever you put up would be 10% of your available accessible credit line. But they don't do that with secure cards. Secure card means if it's a $500, look, if it's a $500 secured credit card, you got to put up $500. That's not credit.
Right.
It's the illusion of credit so that you won't realize the difference in the debit credit systems. It's an illusion. It's a David Copperfield trick.
Yeah, I know
done by bankers.
Yeah, so you saying don't even fuck with it. But I'm saying I'm
not saying whether to mess with it or not. Look, this is the number one thing for anybody that's looking for advice from somebody else. First, assess your situation.
Okay.
If I don't know your situation and I try to tell you how to resolve your situation without understanding it, I'm giving you bad advice and bad information.
Go ahead.
But as soon as I can understand exactly what you're saying about your situation, where you come from, then I could give you the resources to help you figure out what you're doing. But everybody got to know their situation, right? Secure your own asset first. Secure the self first.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That means if you paying mortgage and you don't know nothing about this stuff we talking about, keep paying your mortgage so you don't have to deal with the foreclosure process. But if you understand what's going on and you want to take your risk to start paying your mortgage, be aware that we don't know how long this is going to last, so we don't know how long you got to stop paying your mortgage. Or else we could tell you 90 days is how many you got to be at least 3 months behind before they initiate a foreclosure.
Yeah, and then for the insurance will pay the bank off whatever your note was. Say if your note was $400,000, they'll pay the AIG pays off that note because the bank get it insured.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they gonna get the money no matter what, and then they foreclose your house still. And that's really the illegal part. The illegal part is them selling your contract without your knowledge, like selling that note or selling that particular.
That's the same thing. Credit cards. Have you ever get called from a bill collector?
Yeah, that's right. That's fact.
Once they sold your credit, your debt instrument to somebody else, it
Yep, that's
settles
illegal.
the debt with you.
Yep, that's illegal. Yep, and you
It
can
automatically look. If they didn't ask you to switch it over to an arbitrator and they just sent it to a third party,
right.
they said, "Hey, we don't accept the debt no more. If they pay you, they pay you. If they don't, they don't."
Yep. But you know they slick now, Rod. They put in a contract for you sign it. The first one that if you forfeit this contract, you agree to us selling it to somebody else. They get slick and add that in the small print in the bottom. But you know what I'm saying? It's still ways you can get out of it by how you sign it. If you sign it in a trust, or if you sign it in, certain ways you can sign to where you won't be directly reliable for as your particular straw man won't be directly and reliable to it. But this is the thing I was gonna ask you next. And we're gonna take questions from the crowd. We got about 6 more minutes. We'll take questions from the crowd, and then we'll go into that. This is my last question before I start taking questions from the crowd. Now, like I say, Donald Trump is doing his thing. He going in, he smacking folks around, running folks off. Like I said, the federal workers
running the country like death row.
Yeah, right. Pretty much, he going in like death row. He talking about getting everybody tax cuts, straightening some of the rigmarole in some of the systems, some of these foreign agencies they've been collecting and getting over on the American people. So after Trump cleaning all this up, do you think that he'll turn on the American people and start becoming like a dictator?
Silver water. Silver turn your skin blue. You can look it up now. Silver turn your skin blue. And so when the settlers came, they thought it was unreal. Papa Smurf, his hair was red when he was a little boy, but now he's an old man. Now it's all Snow White. Hillbillies back off in the bayou or back off in the hollers down in Kentucky and Tennessee to silver water in order to create a artificial melanin barrier.
Man,
they didn't have screen sunblock back then.
Right. What let me ask you this, Rock, because you somebody, they say in the chat, they like you cooking. Do you, I might ask you this before, have you ever remote viewed before, Rod? Because you have a lot of history, brother.
I study remote viewing until I got good at it, and I found that it worked real good with my tarot cards.
So what did you find out when you was remote viewing with your tarot cards, brother?
Different stuff I asked, different questions. I haven't pulled a deck of cards out, Brother Rich, in about 4 years to do a reading because they'd be too spooky accurate to me. So the message come in slower, and I can read it better if I don't use the cards, because then I get sensory overload. And then I see too much, and then I be like, I'm gonna put all this stuff together, and then I can't rest until I put it all together.
Right. Somebody said, why was there only one female Smurf?
That's Hollywood, because Hollywood want everybody to be tutti fruities.
Man, we done went to man. All right, so Rod, all right, check this out. Since we going to we going in a lot of places tonight, family, to just discover our origins and who the different races and species we've been through time. Blue, green, black, olive, white, all these different colors. Rod, let's go to another cartoon. The Thundercats. Historically, if you're talking about the Anunnaki, people say the Thundercats represent the Larians, I think. Larians or Larian?
Larians.
Where do they pop up in history? If we're talking about the Anunnaki, where the hell do they? Because they're supposed to be older than the Anunnaki, I believe. So where do they pop up?
First of all, the Anunnaki is it's like a United Nations of galactic species.
Okay. Now that's a great way to say it. Oh, and all right, I'm gonna let you answer this. Then I gotta follow up. Go ahead. I'm excited. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, so you know who Sekhmet is?
Yeah.
The priestesses of Sekhmet were taught originally by Lyran priestesses. Then under Sekhmet, you have other cat goddesses like Bast, right? Bast is the defense, the Lyran defense team. They the stealth bombers of the House of the Cat.
Mm-hmm.
The ones who carry the black cat totem is in the form of the Black Panther is the priest, because the Black Panther is the black leopard, and the leopard is the garb of the ancient priesthood. So you know they totem animal, you know they purpose here. Like Tupac's totem animal is the cat, but his spirit animal is the dragon,
See
the
this right?
shining serpent.
See this?
Yeah, the tiger.
But go ahead, though. I had to show that.
Yeah. You know they got black tigers too.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they still call Black Panthers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But see, down you coming from the east under your ancient Arabic order, the nobles of the mystic shrine, with the simulation of the crescent moon as the fangs of the Bengal tiger,
Mm-hmm.
right? The K9s.
Mm-hmm.
K9 is 9/11, by the way.
The K9, yeah.
K9 is 9/11. K is the 11th letter.
Right.
Right. So it's 11/9, but on the flip, it's 9/11. Okay, so the Lyrans is over the spiritual initiation rites and training of the House of the Cat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's who got usurped out of Vatican City. Vatica is the cat they was all obsessed with. And that's why they became cataholics, or as you say, Catholic.
Oh shit, man! Come on, man. Oh, he took it there, y'all. He took it.
That was the sacerdotal seat.
He took it there. The cataholics or the Catholics. He took it there. Ah, man, you took it there, Rod. Oh man, shit. This is a classic show, y'all.
I had some good master teachers.
This is a classic show.
I'm just a class tutor.
Man, yo, so was the Great Pyramid in Egypt? You know the Great Pyramid in Egypt. Was that left by the Larians? Was that left there by them?
No, that was left there by Tahuti.
Because they say it was a cat or something like that with wings or some shit. Like I don't heard a lot of different things, man.
No, the Sphinx was a female. All of the Sphinx of the world was females.
Right.
Later they tried to alter the faces of them and then even cast male sphinxes. But the Sphinx was the Leo waiting on the return of the three kings, which is represented by the three pyramids, which is represented by the three stars of Orion's belt. The jewels of the great father who walk among the skies is the three high chiefs, which is the three sky chiefs. And the three sky chiefs is represented by as above, so below. They walk in human form as three chiefs, but they also represent a spiritual frequency. And the one in the middle, right, that's the one who's responsible to hold the love key. So you look at the symbolism of the three kings biblically, and the symbolism, the frankincense, the gold, and I think the other one was silver. The frankincense is the spiritual essence. That's why they use it in all of the rituals. It's symbolism of spiritual essence. The gold is the heart chakra, right? And the heart chakra is the wealth of eternity if you can find true love, right? Searching for a heart of gold. And the silver is your connection to your motherland, right? So it's your brother from another mother, and y'all got to redeem the great mother in order to restore the great father. Takes you back to the holy drama, Isis, Set, and Osiris. Hey, look, Rich, somebody, a couple guys were trying to correct me about Set because I keep telling them that the biblical Satan is Set, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they think that what I'm telling them is who Set was. And I'm not telling them who Set was. I'm telling them how they used Set's name.
Mm.
You got to understand, they took our stories from ancient history, rewrote them and reworked them to give us a whole different story, but leave enough of it for us to find the source information.
Mm. Yeah, man. Wow. All right. A lot of people. All right. So we've. I mean, we at the hour mark, family. I mean, this was like. I mean, Rod was sizzling all night. I mean, he was smoking all night with this information. And we talked a lot about race and the concept of race, and when the concept was introduced in the different colors we've experienced. I'm gonna take a couple of questions from the people, but one last question I want to ask is: we see, the whole race paradigm and what that has done. When was the first? They say that the oldest war that took place was between man and woman. When was it? We talked about this nuclear war that happened, this nuclear winter. When was the first time that man and woman went at it? And if we're going to talk about this great mother so much, I guess the divine feminine lost power, if that's the proper way to say it.
That takes us right back to Lord Set. The word En means Lord in Semitic language, ancient Semitic language and hieroglyphics in Sumerian. En means Lord or master of something. And Set is the antithesis of Osiris. He is the uncle who comes to steal his brother's throne, right? The origin of the story is the biblical war in heaven that landed on earth. Was about birthright to the earth, mitochondrial right to rule, and as the creator gods, goddesses, gods, and ruler god is the Y chromosome rulership right. Earth being a feminine planet supposed to be under matriarchal order in order for it to have heavenly qualities in the physical form. So the war that started on heaven was actually a war in Nibiru between siblings, twins, a brother and a sister. And the brother did not want to relinquish the jurisdictional authority of Earth to the matriarchy. So he tried to instill his wife from a mirror universe as the divinity of the Earth to create the 6,000-year rule. But that's all after the war took place, started on Nibiru, is where they set it off. And then they end up coming to Earth in conclusion to fight it out in the Pleiadian light lock that we call the Van Allen belt. So we sitting here looking at the aftermath of all of the first war, and all wars being battles in that great war.
What was the name of the brother and sister, for those who don't know, Rod?
It's written in the story of Inanna, which is supposed to be the story of Inanna and Enlil's conflict. So when the uncle went to take power from the mother, the son overheard it. And they say, Michael, but it wasn't Michael, it was Michelle. Because all of those archangels that they talk about was females that guarded the throne of the Great Mother. And that's why they was like, this angel sit on this hand to God, and this angel sit on this, and this angel the foot of God. All they telling you is they position around the throne to protect the Great Mother.
So you trying to tell me right now, Rod, that Archangel Michael is really Archangel Michelle?
Yeah.
Well, there you go again. There you go again with this shit, man.
Okay, you got to understand Anunnaki psychology and how they go to war.
Right.
They like to change the name, right? Or they like to name somebody, they want to replace somebody the same name. When they call that beheading of the god. If when they sing Medusa, Medusa just means she was a Psi priestess, rank number 10, meaning that she was the Alpha and Omega of Psi priestess, meaning that she had the right to train Gorgons under her. That wasn't her name. That was her rank and her title because of her rank, Medusa. She was a Gorgon. A Gorgon is a goddess of the water, birth priestess. Psi, like Psi-Netta. Psi means God. Psi-Netta means God of the birth priestesses, or spirit or energy of the earth priestesses. And so you have Psi-Netta. Psi is the doula priestesses, the birth bringers and the welcoming of the children into the new world. And these are the ones that became nuns when the Catholic Church was hostily taken over. But before that, they was the priestesses of Mami Water, the Delphi priestesses, the oracles of the earth, the 12 daughters of Isis. Right? Now, they've been relegated to the primordial abyss, so now they just call them the Noon. They sent them back to the Great Mother. They put them all in black, but they're supposed to be wearing white because they're supposed to be welcoming the light. Switcheroo.
Man, oh man, we gonna get to I ain't gonna be on here too long tonight. Me and Rod getting ready to do something. I've been talking about a while, but we're finally gonna do this Patreon this coming week. Family, we're doing this Patreon part 2 to the ESP. It's finally going down. Telepathy, extrasensory perception, all that good stuff. We're gonna do the part 2 to that. It's gonna be absolutely insane. Another announcement before I get to the Q&A. The non-ether. Yo, Rod, did you see the non-ether God Fest about did you hear about that yet, Rod?
Yeah, a couple people called me and told me about it.
Oh, it's going down big time, Rod. Oh, it's going down big time, Rod. Rod, it's going down big time, man. Yo, bro, man, the people that's gonna be there, oh my God.
When is it?
February 8th. I believe that, yeah, it's in 8 days. Yeah, February 8th, next Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday. We got, listen, man, we got Griff, we got Billy Carson, Dr. Be Serious, Sharif Bey, Sister Myra, Aaron Lyons, Soleil, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Hank Risenson, B-Dell, just yesterday, Priestess, I said Rob Men's gonna be there. I mean the lineup is absolutely insane. Loaded Lux, the battle rappers, Loaded Lux gonna be there. Cam Botter's gonna be there. I mean, Rob, man, this is.
Hey, you had me at Aaron Lyons.
Man,
you know that's my girl there. You know, when you see people channeling,
yeah,
and you know from the message that the channel is crystal clear. Man, that makes like somebody else can do some work other than me.
Are you talking about
Aaron Lyons?
Hey, Aaron, yeah, she's sharp with her channeling, right? She's sharp
Man,
with it.
She the MF and true.
Damn, yeah, she's sharp with it. She is sharp.
But she had me when you asked her about the diet, and she talked about you're supposed to instinctually eat. Because most people be trying to push the vegan thing so hard because the vegan thing then turned into a cult.
A religion, yeah.
You know, no religion, a full-blown cult. They will F you up.
Yeah.
About going against the vegan.
Yeah.
Right. They starting to get violent with it. You know, but they got to remember that half of the vegans wasn't always vegans. Different people was at different levels of development. If you want to help them to the next level and you want them to, they might not supposed to be vegan. Everybody ain't supposed to follow the same diet. That's why they have a book called Eat Right for Your Blood Type. Right? Because they show you the diet that's most compatible with your ancestral program. Blood type is altered through diet.
Mm. Yeah. Let's get to some quick Q&A before we get out of here, family. Absolutely amazing show. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say with the Godfest, it's gonna be on Patreon. So that's another thing. If you are a Patreon, it's gonna be recorded, and I'm gonna throw it on the Patreon for the family. So if you're a Patreon member, you will be able to view the non-ether Godfest. All right, family. Let's get to some okay, we're gonna start with the question I see right in front of me right now. Static Shock says, who are the modern day Washita people and what is their importance today?
All of the tribes are scattered across the land. And the Washita was a family network. Most of them kept the last name. In English, is commonly called Washington. The name Washington comes from the name Washita, which comes from the name Wachita, right? And the bigger the family get, you have what's called sub-tribes, where Uncle Philip didn't want to stay in Big Papa house. He got too big for his britches. So Big Mama sent him to go set up another farm over there in another family unit. He became the chief of his own clan, and he gave it his own name. So you can't say no one people is any one thing now because of the fact of us being scattered across the land. But we can trace back to where our longest and said, like I can trace back to Macomb, Magnolia, Mississippi on my motherland, and back to Canton on my fatherland. Right? So I know that on my fatherland had a heavy Chata influence, and one of my aunties said she was Chata. One of my father's aunties, and told me we were Chata. On my mother's side, she was down there, and I don't have the. They say we Cherokee, but there's no record of Cherokee that I was able to find from my grandfather's land down in Magnolia, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A lot of them are Chickasaw and Chata and just Mississippi. Right? Even when you say Mississippian, you could just as well say Olmec, Inca, Maya, and Aztec. It's the same people in different time periods. And that's why they try to trick us and tell us they different people at different times.
Mm-hmm. Next question, Rod. So, they want to know, who was the black lady found on the crashed spacecraft on the backside of the moon?
They call her Mona Lisa. And she had this particular breathing apparatus on and looking apparatus. I'm not sure. I don't think they found that on the moon. I think they found her in Arizona. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But the moon is a whole spaceship, so.
Right. Next question. This is I don't. They just said, how about the Negas? Well, I don't know what they want to know. It's kind of
the Nagas Kings was from the Indus Valley. It was a time where world power was shifted from empire to empire. The Nagas Kings is when the empire that we call India today, which is the Ayurvedic line of kingship that was handed down through the Aryans. Those were the Nagas kings. Those are the same ones we were talking about earlier, Rich. The Dravidians, the Untouchables, the ones that like the Jacksons back in the early 70s when they had the afros and the big nose.
Right. Indeed. Let's get to this next question. What's your take on multiple plane crashes as another plane just crashed in Philly?
Yeah, the chaos on the way out. The falling system got to create the chaos, but it's cold. Like Phase 1 did a good breakdown on the ritualistic aspect. D-Dale did one, and then this is another sister. She on my I was posting hers on my Facebook page. They all gave good breakdowns on the symbolism behind it. Right. So I give you them as references because they're gonna give you more details than I'm gonna give you right now because I'm in my dilly gap mode.
Okay. Let's get to the next question. What was the relationship between the Mississippians and the Arawak?
Most of the tribes was cordial before they began to be set against each other by the invaders. Even the warring tribes, when we was warring with each other, we wasn't nothing but a fist fight and everybody went home. It was when the settlers came, put guns in our hands, and we started killing each other.
Somebody, hold up. Somebody asked about your Cash App. I done wrote it so many times. I remember. Hold up. SikApe, right, Rod?
Yeah.
Let me put that up here. Yeah. For those who want to inquiring about supporting the brother Rod Hayes, you can hit the Cash App up. $ SikApe is the way that you can support this genius brother we got here. I don't know what to call him, man, but the brother was channeling, he was tapped in tonight. He was definitely tapped in. He, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's smoking on, but goddamn, the brother was tapped in tonight. So yeah, you can support the brother with Cash App, brother. Show the brother some love. This was a solid hour of information that I think every melanated folk, now we're all melanated, it's just different varying levels of melanin. But everybody, human being, should hear this show that was broadcast tonight. So make sure you'll support the brother $ SikApe. We're gonna do 2 more questions, y'all. I can't be on here too long, and I don't want to keep the brother too long. We're gonna do 2 more, then we're gonna get out of here. Somebody, do you know who this is? Somebody said, can you talk about the Rainbow Warriors prophecy? What's that, Rod? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, that was when, at the end of the Piscean age, the native elders, our elders from this land, prophesied that it will be a rainbow of tribes from different skin colors. And they would come together in the time of the crystal generation to usher in another world, a better world. And that's an old prophecy. And most of it, if you asking about it, you already know what the prophecy is.
Indeed. Let's get to another question. Okay. Somebody said, who are the Abyssinians / Ethiopians in relation to us? Are they dirty Moors?
The Ethiopians is a whole different genetic stock from the ones we call dirty Moors, and they are different genetic stock from us. They got a different fatherland. So mitochondrially, we might be more related than we is by Y chromosome. And that was once known as the land of Inki. In the theosophy, they called him the old man Africa. But Africa wasn't called Africa before the Berlin Conference. But it was called Eastern Ethiopia, was Indus Valley, and Ethiopia proper was the Ethiops that the Greeks renamed. Land of the burnt faces.